It is 2:10 p.m. This is engineered light. This is not sunlight. This is light that's reaching underneath a covered structure, number one, underneath into a doorway, number two, and underneath a table, number three. In addition to what is, pay attention, this is pacing right here. They're walking by each other. That's very demonic. They're monitoring, okay? Anyway, so I want to show you, this is the light source that's directly over, and it is 2:10 p.m. Under no circumstances is it the sun, and that's how you know what they are and what they're doing, because at 2:10 p.m. at the Ontario Town Square, at the exact same time, you're going to see right over my head where the Ontario Police Department are group stalking in a helicopter. The light source is in its central presence, just like this, in its zenith over my head. Maintaining presence while I am subject to what is group stalking, as the state is acting directly in concert with the people of the state who are in that environment, monitoring by virtue of their mere presence and ongoing activity creation in that specific environment. It is an unnatural environment, and this is where the people of the state incorporate, all right? This is where they maintain presence around one who is subject to what is a demonic targeting system, and it is highly malicious. They don't have to talk to you, they don't have to know you, but even those that do know you and do know your name, they pose a serious threat to your life as well, because that's the state that's being treated as a closer than a brother, that's in your home, that knows your personal business and able to use that against you. I want to be clear, at 2:10 p.m. this is not possibly the sun that's over my head at the Ontario Town Square, where my documentation also exists showing that the sun is rising over me at the Ontario Town Square as early as 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. The entity is present at the Ontario Town Square, that same venue in Ontario where the entity is setting a sun while I remain at the Ontario Town Square. That's the pattern of conduct. It's not the natural environment, and at no time the analysis is as follows. Not only does sunlight not reach underneath coverings and underneath into doorways and underneath furniture inside of a room, the sun does not remain stationary at one address for the duration of the day. The sun does not remain over everyone's head in its zenith in this manner for the duration of the day. The sun is not rising and setting in alignment to everyone for the duration of the day. The sun is also not present in what is Ontario, California, at the Ontario Town Square in its zenith over my head, as I captured on video, contrary to what I documented. This is the pattern of conduct that I'm subject to in Los Angeles. This is 1810 North Alvarado Street, and this is in no way the same sky space, and this is not going to be the natural environment. That's not the sun that is at the same time present at the Ontario Town Square right now. And this is not visible from, this is not going to be visible as the position of the sun. It's not even appearing as I'm looking at the edge of 1810, where, by the way, hours from now, it's still remaining here and even setting in alignment to here. There is no point, in other words, where not only the state of Florida is going to see the sun, but neither is the Ontario Town Square, especially while the sun, all right, which, again, I'm understanding that's entertaining the illusion. This is a light source that's rising, air quotes, rising in alignment to me, remaining over me for the duration of the day, replete with what is engineered light, distinct and separate from the placement of the light source, and then it is also setting in alignment to me. That is what was underway in Ontario, where you see in that video at 2:10 p.m. the Ontario Police Department is group stalking, engaging in the terrorizing threat, which is the role of the state, where it is acting with the people of the state of California, engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring in the specific environment. All right, I will remind you of that documentation that exists. It's currently 2:13 p.m. and this is the pattern of conduct underway at what is Alvarado Gardens, where you see the Los Angeles Police Department engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, which was the case where feet away right here, this is where the light source was at 10:47 a.m. 11, 12, 1, 2, it's been 4 hours approximately. Yeah, that's not the sun either. Okay, just as you can just compare it, where you isolate the universe to where the venue is right here, and also when you engage in what is a comparison. No, the sun's not over Harupa Valley Country Village Apartments in this manner or at all. The sun is not over the Upland Public Library, contrary to what I documented while I was at the Upland Public Library from opening until closing, and the entity kept the light source visible through the roof, okay? That was providence, because I documented it. And it's impossible that that would be the sun. It's also impossible while you compare the venues. But what you do have in common is the phenomenon of stalking by the state. That's what you do have. It is a specific pattern of conduct. It's occurring in a very specific venue. And the entity is acting in concert, relying upon the criminal presence of the people of the state. They have any constitutional basis of presence. It's criminal presence. You are criminalizing what is a secret society that is maintaining what is ongoing, incessant presence around you, serving your criminal monitoring system, targeting you, and you're not even aware of it. Okay, you become aware of it when you are aware of the environment that you're in, and the environment that you're in is a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon. It's also terrorism. So while you're being pursued in an environment defying nature and you document it, That's a prosecution of a public entity that is monitoring you under that environment, relying on that environment, utilizing that environment in concert with the people of the state. You're going to prosecute for that while they are practicing a satanic targeting system. And this entity is monitoring while documentation has been increasingly accumulated over a term of years. This is going to be a historic prosecution for many reasons, okay? It is currently 2:15 p.m. This is documentation of what is the prosecution and removal from existence, not only the Los Angeles Police Department, not only the prosecution of the people of the state, but the removal from the Ontario Police Department. This documentation in and of itself is probative of what the entire entity has been engaged in, as I have maintained ongoing documentation of the federal group stalking and monitoring. And it is identified by the maintenance of a specific environment that defies nature. All right, this is P.O.C.